Hello, my name is Virginia Hendricks, and welcome to my channel or episode. I don't know. This is my first one of these, so I don't know how often these are gonna happen, but I had kind of like a fun solo day adventure yesterday and kind of took the camera along, I guess. But yeah, I live on the central coast of California, kind of in the San Luis Obispo area, and I love it here. Tons of like access outdoors, lots of like little funky small towns scattered throughout that I really enjoy exploring and getting to know. And I think this area of California is a special place for a lot of people, so I love to share it, and I guess that's what I'm trying to do here. But I follow a few gals from around the world that kind of share their lives in similar ways. Mia Corripo, she lives kind of in the Yosemite area. I love her day-to-day videos. Her full-time job is a teacher, and I just really like her content. And I also follow Neve McKinnon, who lives in the Isle of Skye in Scotland. And it's just so beautiful. And my husband and I actually ended up planning a trip to Scotland, and I have to say it's probably because I, was very influenced. But all that goes to say, I really enjoy their content. It's definitely like a slower pace of life. And I feel like it's very community focused as well. Like supporting like small businesses and, just settling into routines and everything. So I know traditionally, like in the vlogger space, it's kind of, content creators in like bigger cities and everything, which is great, and I love to watch that as well. But I definitely like watching gals that kind of, I feel like, align with my own life. So I guess this is my take at it. I have been working a lot these past 2 weeks with job training. I changed jobs internally at my company, so it's been like 1 week of training, then had a weekend, then the last week has also been training. And of course, last weekend I got extremely ill, so it's kind of felt like a time warp of just like work, sick, work. So yesterday was finally like I felt better and wanted to take advantage of the day, even though I wasn't like hanging out with anyone necessarily. It was just a day that I was looking to like reconnect with myself and the area around me. So yeah, it was a gorgeous day. I went up to Cambria up north, and then I kind of went to the south end of the Big Sur coast and just kind of hung out at the beach, and it was a beautiful day. Like everything here is getting so green, and it was just like very fresh. We've had some rain these past 2 weeks, so I felt like it was just like having an extra sparkle in the air. But yeah, I'm excited to show you guys, and hopefully you enjoy the vlog. Good Saturday. I feel like there's always an errand to do that you need to check off. My errand today is dropping something off at the post office. I got this beautiful blue and white dress, but it's just like a little bit too big. It's like a smocked waist, so I feel like you can kind of like, it runs on larger size. So I'm gonna exchange it and see how that goes. So I also remembered to bring my post office tape, because I don't even want to say how many times I've been like suckered into buying one of these on my trip to post office, because like they won't tape it up for you. UPS will sometimes, and USPS, like the person has to be feeling like really nice that day if they offer to tape it up for you. And last time that the lady did, she was like, promise me that you'll put the tape back in your car, and I was like, I promise. So I kept my promise. Yeah, so that's kind of like first order business. Also, that gal Neve, the Scottish vlogger who I love to follow, she got this hat, and I was so influenced. It was kind of embarrassing, but it's from this brand in Amsterdam called Bart's. I feel like they just know their knitwear there. Like they have that figured out, but it's all lined with fleece on the inside, and I feel like I have a fairly large head, so I just figured a way to combat the large head is just to get a large beanie, and like maybe it will make my head look smaller, or maybe it just like adds more volume to my head and now my head looks huge. But yeah, that is the first order of business today. I kind of didn't realize that it is a 3-day weekend and Valentine's Day weekend, and it is packed. Like, it's crazy. I kind of didn't realize Cambria could be like so poppin'. It's like a long wait to get anywhere to eat. I originally was just gonna get coffee, but now I'm like pretty hungry. Gotta figure out what to do there. Figure out where to get a little nibble. But yeah, Cambria, I totally understand why people come here. It is kind of a tourist retiree community. There is like probably some of the highest number of per capita antique shops ever here. It's definitely stacked. This one's great. It's in a historic bar here. The bar used to be called Bucket of Blood, which is a crazy name for a bar. And then because there's so many fights. But yeah, also Cambria, what else does it have? It's just had half of my sandwich. I got the chicken banh mi one from True Earth Market, and it was so good. Like, props to the chef back there. So I think we'll save half for later and then take it to the beach on that part of my day. But I figure now that I don't feel like I'm gonna die and crash out, we can go around to some antique shops and kind of see what new old stuff might be in there. Also, this saloon is like my favorite bar ever. It feels like you're in a medieval tavern. Like, it's all stained glass and kind of like very old school and dark inside. But yeah, Motsy's Saloon in Cambria. I love it. Also, I feel like I didn't really give context as to like where Cambria is or like what it is, because if people aren't familiar with this area, I guess like if you know where San Luis Obispo is, it's like 45 minutes north of that. It's very small, and like the towns surrounding it are really small. Like, there's nothing really north of here. There's like San Simeon and then some like very small communities along the Big Sur coast, and then there's like proper Big Sur at the very top, like kind of by Carmel, but it's pretty like no man's land. But I would kind of like lump it in with like Morro Bay, Cayucas, but it's a really cute downtown. A lot of like old historic buildings, like they've done such a good job of preserving. Like, if you come and the Cambria Historic Museum, if that's open, it's like one of like the original houses here that they restored, I think like either in the 90s or like early 2000s. It's just incredible, and I think like the town here must have like a big sense of pride in like keeping these buildings alive and functioning. So yeah, that's been really cool to see. But I think it was originally found in like the mid 1800s with some of like the California land grant ranches, and then even today there's like a ton of ranching. It's like you drive up Highway 1 and there's cattle on either side. And lots of cute gift shops and restaurants, like very, they have a lot of character. And yeah, a few times a year there's some fun festivals. There's a Scarecrow Festival around Halloween, which is so spooky. I feel like just kind of around town there's scarecrows popping up, kind of a eerie vibe. And Cambria kind of has like a magical witchy vibe as well, so I feel like they really excel in Halloween. There's this one shop down here, it's called like Spellbound Herb Shop, but you walk in and it is like just pots of like different, you know, herbs and dried medicinal flowers and stuff, and a bunch of like fairy stuff, in this old house that's painted black. And it's just it's cool, and their backyard is like beautiful landscaping, and they have like a bunch of like little like troll figurines and fairy figurines hidden there. So I definitely like, it would be such a fun spot to bring a little kid because it's absolutely magic. And there's also like the Cambria Christmas Lights Festival, which is like a whole Christmas thing, and they have like a crazy like light tunnel that people, you know, get hot chocolate in and stuff. A lot of retirees, I think. Tons of antique shops. I feel like I find a new one every time I come here, which is so funny because it's not like there's a million streets here, but just keep stumbling upon different antique shops. They definitely have some like water issues, like houses here. Like you can't get new water rights, like you have to be grandfathered in, so that's kind of like a whole deal. But I think that's like part of the reason why this part of the coast hasn't been developed as much as other parts of California. I still have the other half of my sandwich, so figure walk, drive up to kind of like the bottom end of the Big Sur coast and go for a little beach walk, listen to a podcast, look at some birds, look at some waves, eat my sandwich, and then call it a day. It's only like 1 p.m. right now, but yeah, it's been a super fun day so far, so thanks for letting me bring you along. I normally never really come to this beach all too often. I feel like normally when we're heading up to Big Sur, it's to go camping or backpacking, kind of like at a, you know, specific trailhead and stuff. And we usually frequent like this other beach up here, more so for like a beach day. But I'm gonna add this one into the roster because it is pretty nice. It's like very long. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's like a lot of space because I feel like a lot of the beaches here with just like the coastline with the mountains, like the mountains drop into the sea, which is, you know, why it's so beautiful. But in turn, I feel like it just creates a lot of like smaller little coves and not like these expanses of beaches. And this one's kind of like before the geography or topography or whatever it's called gets like really dramatic, which is nice. But this whole coastline like reminds me a lot of where I grew up in Pasquero, California. Kind of like Santa Cruz to Half Moon Bay was like my stomping grounds as a child. Lots of same vibe, like desolate coastline, rugged coast, lots of agriculture. So I feel very at home here and feel just at home hanging out on one of these beaches by myself. It reminds me like in high school. Sometimes I would stop and on the way home and just kind of take a break at the beach and reflect on the happenings of the day. Lord knows it, you probably need that in high school, but yeah, I'll probably hang out here some more, look at some rocks, look at the waves. There's definitely a winter swell in the water, and look at some driftwood because some fun stuff has washed up, that's for sure. So maybe we will find something cool.